Cold though.
Yeah.
And winter.
Do I was talking about?
Okay.
Oh, what did you say? I'm sorry. No,
Well, I
Is Jason coming?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
He's got a question.
You got a lot of questions.
Yeah,
You got a lot of
that's
questions.
true. I know a lot of us.
Albert's
I
gone.
mean,
Just
we
in the
could
treasurer's
use
area.
one. Runs them all the time. Always something. We do too.
What?
We started one.
Yeah. All right, it's 1 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. This is the special meeting of the budget evaluation team for Monday, June 17th. Notice the meeting was properly posted on June the 12th. Item number 1, discussion possible action regarding the minutes of June 11th. Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I'm sorry.
Ayes have it. Item 2, discussion possible action regarding any items currently on the BET watch list other than the juvenile items. It's juveniles here with the specific agenda item later. Seeing none, no action on item 2. Item number 3, discussion possible action regarding a recommendation to budget board related to potential funding sources available for supplemental funding of employee benefits. What's going on, John?
Wait, what happened? I thought it was better.
It went up a little bit. It's not that really. Albert's gone this week. Okay, so on 6/10, if you look at this sheet, I'll wait till everybody gets the sheet.
All right, without objection, the chair will ask the clerk to make this document from employee benefits a part of the record.
Okay, really, just on this document, let's look at the expense side, what changed. We got the actual medical claims come in, not too much higher, about 39,000 higher than our average, so not too bad. We've actually, then the RX we knew about, the prepayment. Delta Dental came in since then, VSP, so added some more expenses. Then we got the actual claims incurred for our prescription claims, so it went up a little bit. 208,000 for that. The question is the revenue side that I have some outstanding questions on. I need to talk to Carrie after this meeting, obviously, so we can make sure we get this all wrapped up, because I went back to Jennifer and she couldn't match what Albert had sent me. On 6/10, Albert sent me, after the budget board, we'll have $414,930 available for revenue. I had Jennifer try to update it since then and look at it, and they couldn't backtrack the math on that. So he sent me an email saying we'd have that amount. I don't see everything on the budget board for deposits yet that equals that amount, so I'm not sure on that. Since then, we've made 2 deposits, April and May COVID reimbursements and a rebate check that need to be added to the budget board so they can be allocated. So just based on the information I'm given from them, from Albert on 6/10, that 414,930 is the balance after the budget board, but it doesn't include that RX rebate check that's been deposited and those COVID checks that have been deposited. So we'll just need to get those new deposits on the budget board. If that $414,000 number under revenue is correct, that's what Albert sent me 6/10. If that's correct, those are going to be the totals.
John, so on that revenue number, are you concerned with that revenue number? Are you thinking it's too high, too low?
See, I don't do that side of it. Finance does it. Albert sent me on 6/10 saying, hey, this is what it is. This is what I show. I couldn't backtrack it. We've got additional deposits since that date that have gone in. So usually, typically on the budget board agenda, they'll put those deposits through the 15th on the budget board so they allocate them so we can use that money. So, I asked Jennifer to confirm that 414 number, and she couldn't confirm that number, number one. Albert did. He emailed me and confirmed me that number. So all I can do is just go with that number. And then we'll need to
We'll
get,
look at it, cause I know they're still working on some of the appropriations
Good.
and deposits.
so we'll just need to confirm that those 2 new deposits are added to the budget board agenda.
Well, but the
We've gotta make
problem
a decision
is
today.
with
We're
the
just gonna
working
have to
on it
inflate it.
part, yeah, I mean, we
This
need to
is-
know now so we can make a recommendation on,
By 9 tomorrow.
yeah.
To Cassie.
How long do you think you guys need to? You said you're working on it now, how long?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a few appropriations, but,
By
I'll
9
wait.
tomorrow.
and,
To
yeah,
post it to budget board.
yeah.
The budget board agenda gets one holiday.
Right, it
Okay, well, I was
goes
thinking
as-
BOCC, I was like, BOCC's tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so it's budget board. Yeah, it's
Um,
just a little different.
probably an hour or so, just to confirm. I don't see that there's probably anything different other than making sure those deposits are included.
So do we need to hold off to get that number? I don't, I'm just asking from a.
Carrie, would it be hard just to find just the amounts of those deposits real fast? And then we can just add it to the 414?
Right.
I don't even know the ballpark.
Is
Yeah.
does there need
Yeah.
to be additional verification to make sure that the 414 number is correct? That's what I'm sensing some hesitation.
Yeah, I that's what Albert sent me, so I'll go with that number. I asked just kind of for an updated number and they were busy, so they couldn't really verify that. If we just go on what Albert says, that 414 is going to be deposited after the budget board meeting. So and then those 2 other deposits have already been deposited, they just need to be allocated on the budget board.
Is there any concern that the number could
Right.
be
If
lower
the-
than 415? I guess that's really what I care about. Is there any
Just go
concern
with
that it would
Albert's
be
number?
lower?
Yeah, I don't see any reason that Albert's numbers would not have been accurate.
Okay.
And
So,
then we just need to add whatever the 2 deposits are.
Well, it sounds
Which-
like it's these 2 that are highlighted. Is that what
Yeah.
you're telling me?
Okay.
Yeah,
They're just not, they
okay.
just haven't been appropriated.
They
So I
have, which
apologize.
they will be in the normal
I thought I saw
appropriations that
67
come
on
in
there.
on a budget board.
That one's on the draft.
But,
Okay.
so those 2 will be, appropriated during budget board.
so we just need to run an updated deposit list, Carrie, your department does, through today and allocate those funds so that. So if that 414 is correct, we're gonna go with that. Those 2 other deposits, we know those are gonna go in, they're gonna allocate them on budget board. We're looking at about a $439,000 gap.
I say for this group in this meeting, this is just my opinion, that we go with what's in front of us, but we inflate it some. It'll just stay in employees' benefits. I think we've passed the hat. We know we've got money. Just go ahead and put a little more in there,
Are you thinking pass the hat for 500,000? See if we have,
5 or 6. I mean, yeah, just in case something's off.
There are 2 more payments for VSP and for Delta Dental that are for June. We haven't received those yet. The ones that he is putting on there are for May. So they will need to be paid too. And Delta Dental is usually 125, 150,000.
So we really only, this month, we haven't received them, so we're really concerned just about May expenses
Oh, we
are
can count
listed
them.
on here. We can pay those in July. So I listed the ones that we're holding now. So that's where we're at.
Are those part of this 142 for the Delta Dental?
no, that's for
I'm
May.
just saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So since we haven't received the June expenses, we can pay those in July. This is just a snapshot of what we have to get out the door most likely now.
And if we did it at 500,000, I mean, that means we need 685 total. I mean, with
Right.
juveniles requests, so I don't remember what that number was you come up with, but that's almost a limit to our purse.
For what we had received, it was 514, 418.
So 514 plus 179, that leaves us with
But
about $17,000 in general. That sounds familiar. I'm not looking at it.
I did receive a couple.
That amount sounds familiar.
Actually 17,000, but it's real close.
You have numbers for
I do.
everybody?
I do have a couple of changes that had come in.
Can you go ahead and list what you have? And I'll just say Brandy emailed me earlier today that she nor anybody from District 2 could be here today, but she wanted to confirm that their $50,000 they have available for whatever shortfall purpose we need, whether it's juvenile or employee benefits.
Could you itemize those out for us so we have that?
So I have the District 2, 50,000. I have, emergency management, 6,000. I've got election board, I think this is Colin Caroline.
Yeah.
38,000. MIS, I've got the 20,000. Social services, 138,000. Engineering, 30,000.
30, you said?
Yes, 30. Treasurer's office, I've got, let me see, because you did send me another email.
It was just confirming the 130, so it's
Okay.
130
So 130, yes.
thousand.
1,000, yes, excuse me. I've got. I've got from general government, 100,000 to 150,000.
Say that again.
General government, 100,000 to 150,000.
$100,250.
No, thousand.
So a
100,000
range?
to 150,000.
Oh, okay,
The email I
okay.
got.
Who sent that to you?
Jennifer Murphy sent it. It says Kelly Thomas says that general government can probably give up to 100,000 to 150,000.
150,000, yes, not 250,000.
No.
No,
Okay.
100,000 to
150,000
150 is,
Excuse me. Sorry.
max at 150.
Yes. And then Brandon, you sent me an email that kind of confused me a little bit.
That's what I do. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think our numbers changed that much. My concern was just that in the event we had anybody that quit right at the end of the year, I don't think we will. I mean, I think we could probably still comfortably do around the 100,000. I just wanted to be,
Okay.
the reason I put 75,000 is because I just didn't know with the number of our employees. I mean,
Let's just go 75.
I'd say pretty comfortable at 85. I mean, I'd probably say
Okay.
comfortably 85 when I started thinking about it a little bit more. I mean,
Okay.
I know that kind of just, like juvenile, it's just kind of a swag. I mean, because I don't know what we don't have anybody that turns over under a year. They're all 30-year employees, so I don't think we'll have that, but.
And I believe that was it.
Anything from the jail trust?
so like 627.
I got 647 using 150, but
I
I
may
could
have
have,
missed one.
I could
I got 647.
Okay. I think I missed the MIS for me.
Yeah, if you include 150,000, that's 647.
Now that's just past the hat, we do still have a reserve.
Right.
I know our office can do some as well.
Did you ever hear anything from the trust?
That's disappointing. I'm just gonna say it out loud. That's disappointing.
Well, after the meeting, I got an email from Chris Sherman asking me what she needs, which would be Cassie. And I said, send her the dollar amount that you guys can do, and I've not heard anything.
As of 12 o'clock, I have not heard anything.
We were to, we got past the hat at 647. If we were to just add in the 179, leave a little in reserve.
I can tell you what our office can contribute. That'll help. So we may have a little bit of left.
That's 826.
Yeah, I was kind of going off that 514 number last week, so that's good to kind of increase some, so.
826 minus 185 for juvenile. We got 641. We could put towards them, so 640 towards employees benefits.
And I could do up to 125 total out of regular revale.
How much, Mike?
A total of 125 max. 100 of that out of general, 25 out of revale.
Cassie, did everyone give you their breakdown of which expense category? Or did they just give you lump sums? Cause I think you're gonna need,
A
That
lot
for
of
the
them
agenda
did
item.
do out of salaries or out of then.
I know
broken down.
our
I don't-
initial one, we had broken down, how we got to the 130, but that, we
Mine was
will
salaries.
need that for
Yeah, mine was salaries and benefits both.
Yeah, same thing.
the breakdown, 'cause I think it has to be part of the agenda item.
Engineering did not provide.
I'm probably kind of confusing.
Do you want those numbers or do you have them?
Okay.
Wonder if we're just gonna use
Brandon, I don't have a. It says, it just says confirm 75, now 85. It doesn't say from where
I think
even,
your initial one.
Oh, okay.
or it just says to lapse for general fund.
Well, right now, we don't necessarily have to know that as part of our recommendation, but the ones that you don't have the specific breakdown, like 30,000 from salaries, 20,000 from benefits, the ones that you don't have the specifics, we'll need you to get those to put it in the agenda item. That way, the budget board agenda item has exactly where it's coming from, but we don't necessarily need that great a detail here.
Right.
So who are we missing as far as contributors?
We don't have anything on there. I've got like $4,000 or $5,000 between a couple, but we've got a couple of outstanding invoices that I don't know exactly where they're gonna come in. I'm gonna lapse money, I know that. It's just, it's not gonna be a whole lot. And I don't know exactly to the penny where it's gonna be.
Anybody else?
I mean, as far as elected officials, there's, on this list, there's, I mean, I don't know about department, but D2, sheriff, treasurer, you, so. D1, what you just talked about, the D3, county clerk, and on this, corporate. I mean, it sounds like we've got the money.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
we
I
got
think
the
we
money
need
and
more.
then whatever we don't use is gonna lapse, is gonna be seed corn. So, which we're gonna need that as well, but I thought for sure that the trust was gonna send me a number.
Can check again.
So the assessor's office mentioned a number just a second ago, but we had already met our mark before that. So do we,
I mean, you're right. We're either using it right now for the purposes of juvenile and post benefits and everything else will just lapse. So I'm not concerned, I mean, with trying to check with anyone else or
Is
I
there,
don't even need,
is there a benefit to doing it, I mean, just to do the least amount of transfers for the court clerk side of it? I mean, like in other words,
court clerks.
or the county clerk side of it, I mean, just having to do all the transfer paperwork, is it easier? I mean, instead of taking 10%, 10%, 10%, you see what I'm saying? And then everybody pitching in, I mean, what does it really matter in the grand scheme of it? And
Right.
if we just take the largest ones, I mean, your office, for example, general government, for example, I mean, that alone gives you, $280,000. You know, I mean, some of the larger departments, social services, I'm just trying to cut down on the
Yeah,
number of
we might
transfer
have-
documents that it takes.
2 agenda items,
Yeah,
one for juvenile and then one for employees benefits. But yeah, for, as far as juvenile, we need to, you know, just, like you said, picking out 130,
yeah, 130,
one
150.
D2 treasurer, and maybe emergency management or something. Yeah, that would be easier for hers. unless we did the 170 out of res. Yeah. Oh, perfect. She could do 170 out of reserve and the 6 from emergency management. And that would take care of her 185.
You mean 179?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
179 out of reserve and
that's-
6,
it's
the
6 from emergency
6,000
management.
would be the 185.
And then the rest would go towards employee benefits.
Yeah.
Is that 185? Is that number still?
It is, that's what we're tracking. I mean, obviously, I don't know on payouts, I don't know how our food blankets right now will get us through this next week in June, but not past. And we need to do food at least through that first week in July. So it'll just be food costs and utilities and then a payout that I get between now and the end of June, but that should get us there.
Do you have any payouts on the radar? So it would just be if someone,
So I've calculated all the payouts of the resignations I've received over the last week. I've had 3 resignations and unfortunately 1 death since then. So, yeah, we lost one of our officers this week in a car accident. So, trying to get all of that tabulated and through, but again, it would just be kind of like Brandon said, if I have a 20-year employee walk out the door, but that should more than, now what I would have to do in a real pinch would be to move something like from bureau to detention, which I know we don't ever like to do, but if I got into a
Maybe
pinch
for
because
something
of
like
that,
that.
I could always move something there.
You say again the July thing? You're saying that for July food costs?
Just that first week, because we all need to buy food through that first week.
I see.
In case money doesn't come through
I got you.
immediately, plus we'll have to have an order in before,
You'd buy it for June, with June money.
correct,
Okay.
just for that first week in July. That's what we always have to do.
Okay, so to make this a little bit easier, on item 4, discussion possible action regarding recommendation to budget board to transfer an amount not to exceed $185,000. It's got some breakdowns there. To juvenile. Is there a recommendation to transfer $179,000 from reserve and $6,000 from emergency management to fulfill that $185,000 need?
so moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Just make sure, Cassie, on the budget board agenda item that it, on emergency management, you find out where that 6,000 is coming from. That way it's noted in there. And then this item has where it's needed to go to, so. All right. Back to item 3. Do we want to just take their remaining amounts that Cassie mentioned earlier from the pass the hat, sans the 6,000 emergency management, and just transfer that bulk into employee benefits?
Yes, are you including the assessor's amounts or no?
I was not including the
I was
assessor's
not
amount.
either, okay. So that would be 641,000.
Yeah.
I think that should cover anything that might, some numbers that might be off.
Okay, we got a motion to make a recommendation to transfer $50,000 from District 2, $38,000 from Election Board, $20,000 from MIS, $138 from Social Services, $30 from Engineering, $130 from Treasurer, $150 from General Government, and $85 from the Sheriff's Office into employee benefits. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? That'll be a total of $641,000 on the transfer. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Is there any citizens who wish to participate? Seeing none, board comments. County Clerk, District 3, Treasurer,
Nothing today.
Court Clerk, Assessor.
I do have one comment to make, that I appreciate everybody coming together to do this, but yet we still have some entities that it's the second year have not contributed in this matter to pass that. Although I know that anything lapsed will come back to us in September, it's somewhat disheartening that we seem to have issues with some entities not contributing to pass the hat list.
Hopefully our new change will help.
Hopefully so.
Sheriff's Office. I have none. I have none either. All right, looks like, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.